Ag PhD full episodes and more are now available on Acres TV, the newest ag platform connecting you to fields of information. Look for us on watchacrestv.com.
During our Farm Basics time today, we're going to talk a little about grass waterways. Love them or hate them, they are part of the countryside. And we want to talk a little about the benefits of these things, as well as some of the disadvantages.
Brian and I grew up and still farm in some pretty hilly country, and so there's a lot of ups and downs, and in those valleys, when it rains big, there can be a lot of water moving. So grass waterways absolutely have a purpose for conserving our topsoil, keeping it where it's at a little bit. Now you're going to see some move off the hillsides on a great big 3-inch, 5-inch rainfall event, but you've got that grass waterway that's going to catch a lot of that soil and hold it in the field. So that's kind of one of the things that I've learned about grass waterways is that, hey, you know what? At least it's not going to cut out that waterway like you see where there are no grass waterways. The heavy rains can just cut soil away. At least we're going to protect that, but you're still not going to keep it all on the hillside. You're going to have that grass to filter some of that out.
Well, yeah, I mean, you'd have to go no-till. Well, quite frankly, you'd probably have to go permanent crop to reduce the amount of erosion. But even then, there's still going to be some erosion. Even if you had grass permanently there, there's still going to be some amount of dirt that moves in these great big rainfall events. But anyway, talking about the grass waterways specifically here, Darren brought up the reason why we have them. It's to stop erosion in that low channel where all the water is going to funnel to, and to catch any soil that might come off the fields. Okay, but think about this logically for just a second. If we're going to catch soil there, what's going to happen over time? There's going to be soil that builds up, builds up, builds up. So that means constant upkeep. When you have a certain amount of dirt that builds up, well, now all of a sudden your valley isn't as much a valley anymore. Now you create valleys on each side of the valley, and you have to go back in and dig out these waterways, then reseed the grass. It does end up being a lot of work. So that's why some farmers get frustrated by it, but there's definitely a purpose, and we try to leave grass waterways in these big valleys on our farm still.
Well, there are some benefits here too, besides just any kind of erosion type control. You've got grass growing out there, permanent grass. You can hay that. You can come right through, cut it several times during the year, bale it up, feed it to your animals. You can even fence off these waterways if you wanted to just graze them through the year.
You can. So Darren likes talking about the advantages. I'll come back to the disadvantages. These grass waterways are a nice home, unfortunately, for weeds, for insects, for diseases. So here again, it's some upkeep. As farmers, we have to be thinking not just about the crop, but also about our grass waterways, because if we don't maintain those, we don't stop the weeds, insects, diseases, all these other problems from happening there, then they end up spreading out into the field. So again, we love grass waterways. They absolutely serve a purpose if they are put in the right way, if they're managed, if they are kept up. But we also have to continue looking at the disadvantages and make sure that we are scouting them just like we're scouting our fields.
Well, one of the things we may notice in a grass waterway is our weed of the week. Can you identify this week's weed?